Have you ever seen your anxiety or stress through the lens of grief? Yes, I'm talking anticipated grief. Well, if you stay connected with me until the end of the episode, you'll learn through this new perspective how to gain control of your anxiety and your stress. Gaining insight on how stress is so similar to grief, but anticipated grief. Welcome to another episode of Insightful Success. I'm your host, Rosalind Perez, former therapist, now self-awareness and success expert. I'm excited to have you here where we can talk about how to grow wealth and success without compromising your well-being and having your success to be in alignment with your nervous system, which is something that we're mostly struggling with. And here's something I have been thinking about recently. Have you ever seen your anxiety or stress through the lens of grief? Yes, I'm talking anticipated grief. Well, if you stay connected with me until the end of this episode, you'll learn through this new perspective how to gain control of your anxiety and your stress. Gaining insight on how stress is so similar to grief, but anticipated grief. Let me share you a story first to make more sense about these concepts that I'm talking about. Recently, not so long ago, I lost one of my favorite earrings. I lost one of them, and the first thing that popped into my mind when I noticed, like, oh no, where is this earring? I love this earring. I definitely don't want to lose it. So the first feeling that I noticed come up was a heaviness. Like, no, this cannot be happening to me. I love this earring. And that heaviness was followed with stress and anxiety. Like, let's look for it. Let's make sure that we look everywhere, retrace your steps, think about when was the last time that you felt it or saw it. What's the possibility of like this earring being somewhere near your surroundings or your room or any other part of the house? And I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking and looking. Where could it be? Where could it be? Where could it be? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I realized that my fear of losing something, which is the anticipated grief that I was referring to about at the beginning of the episode, was making my nervous system become activated, hypervigilant, wanting to control the situation by reframing our steps. And I'm not saying whether this is a good or bad process. Just bear with me. What I want to highlight is how we, through those situations, activate our nervous system on a regular basis. And we don't even know that we're doing that because nervous system activations, just like these, are so subtle and they're so normal to us. We have normalized them so often that we don't even take the moment to reflect on what's happening in our body. Because during that moment where I was just like imagining that I was not going to be able to find the earring, I was just like releasing cortisol and adrenaline to my body. Because anything that you feel that you are without or that are about to be without loss, anything will activate your nervous system, will activate your alarm survival brain because your body, your mind never wants to be without. And it does not know how to differentiate life or death situations. So that's why we overthink. That's why we regularly want to control things. We become overwhelmed. We cannot sleep. We're fixated with making plans, A, B, and also C. We want to make sure before we make any decision or take any steps that we're making the right decision. So we overanalyze. And all of these are present in our lives. And you know who's paying the toll? You know who's paying the price? Your body. Your body, because there's so much that we can continue to operate this way and not reach a point or a level of exhaustion, reach a level where we start questioning, like, why am I doing here in this planet even? Why, like, is this even worth it? Like all of this hard work? And that's where we feel disconnected. That's when we start to feel resentful, irritated. Our patience runs low. We backlash at others, at our loved ones. Yet we continue to see all of these things as if it was something normal, but it's not. And the key differentiator in all of these processes is not knowing that all of these are survival responses. That by me saying this is not that your body and your mind will stop doing that. But you know what's the powerful thing? Here is the awareness. And that's what many people are lacking. They're not aware that the regular way of operating on a daily basis, it's founded on this. It's fueled, it's the source. And I don't only know this because of my expertise in human behavior and my training. I've lived this myself in my skin. I can automatically feel my heart starting to beat fast whenever anyone comes in with a difference of opinions. I can see how my body starts to identify that as a potential threat. But you know what's the powerful thing? Knowing about it, that it's not an actual threat. And this, for all of the strong women, all of the successful women out there, the high achievers, the powerhouses, this is the fuel. Because wanting to just to do things right, to be a go-getter, to act the stress and the anxiety, and for many high achieving women, one of the biggest fears is to think, what am I doing with my life, with my time? I want to make sure that I leave a legacy, that I matter. Yet, if the source is survival root, if the source comes from a survival place or a survival wound, it's going to wear you out. I assure you, you can achieve so many amazing things. You can reach the peak of the mountain when it comes to your career, to your life, but aren't you going to be able to enjoy it? No. And this is what leads many women to burnout. This is what leads many women to feel disconnected, to lash out, to feel this, to feel without a purpose or with a sense of being. And we call it existential crisis, but in reality, it's the accumulation of all of the behaviors and years of us acting from a survival place. And if this is something that you would like to learn a little bit more, I have a free master class that I'm going to add the link on the description if you feel that you would like to further learn a little bit more about what I'm talking about. I want to make sure that I stay connected with the topic of this episode when it comes to anxiety and stress being seen as an anticipated grief and loss. But feel free just to use this resource if you would like to learn a little bit more on how we build wealth and success without knowing that it's leading us to burnout. And also, if you feel that you would like to learn a little bit more on how to grow your awareness and become empowered from that place, hit subscribe. You don't want to miss any of these episodes that can help you increase your awareness on developing yourself into the person that you so much long to be. That being said, wanting to go back to functioning the way that we do without stopping to reflect of what is that we fear so much whenever, because anxiety, it's fear. It's an anticipated fear. It's looking in the future. What if this doesn't work out? So, but there's a loss connected to that fear. There's a perception that if this doesn't work out, then something bad might happen. But in reality, what it means is a loss of the good things that you have going on. There's always a link to loss or grief. It doesn't matter how you look at it. If you apply for a job and then it doesn't happen, then you might fear that you're not going to be able to pay the rent. I'm just using this as a hypothetical example. So it's a fear of loss of stability. Or if I argue with my partner, or if I say something, I speak up, what if they get mad at me? That's why many people please, because it's a fear of loss of that relationship or that person being in your life because of you setting the boundary. The fear to say no comes from the same place. The fear of confidence, not feeling completely confident, is because what if I do what I want to do? What are other people going to say or do or think or judge about me? That's a fear of losing a status. That's a fear of losing the social connection we are so wired to look for because we don't want to be rejected. We don't want to be ostracized. So the more that you understand how anxiety it's directly linked to an anticipated grief or loss, the better you will be able to manage it and gain control over it. Because let me tell you something. What are two things that you can? First thing is whenever you're feeling stressed or anxious, first thing you can ask, the very first thing is my life in danger? Is this situation a threat to my life? If the answer is no, anything else can be solved. Anything else can be resolved. And that's a perfect moment for you to self-regulate and self-soothe and redirect your mind from that place of, I'm not in danger, I'm safe. Because believe it or not, whenever you are feeling and experiencing anxiety or stress, your mind, the first thing it does, it's link any situation to your life being on threat. But for the majority of the cases, if you're alive or you're listening to this, it means that it's you have survived. And if you're getting anxious because you're going to be late to an appointment, is your life in danger? No, then anything else can be solved. The second question you can ask yourself to gain control over this, because once the first one is just to take a breather and understand and help your mind really process that I'm okay. I am safe. And it's okay to say that. I am safe. I got you. Everything else can be worked out. The second question is there something I can do right now? And the questions that I am sharing with you aren't that different from what other people say, but here's a key point that I wanted to highlight that it's different that not many people are really integrating, and is first the awareness, and second the role of your nervous system in this inner process. When you recognize the role of your nervous system, then managing your anxiety or your stress will become much easier because you can still experience it in your body. You can still feel it. I'm not saying that you're not going to feel it, that that's the end of you experiencing ever anxiety again. No, but you know that you're safe. So you become the observer of your body instead of the reactor and the person who's like, I have to make sure that I respond to whatever I'm feeling. So awareness is the number one key. Recognizing the role of your nervous system. And you can take care of these two once you have answered that first question. Is my life in danger? Because if not, then you follow the other question. You move on to the other question. Is there anything I can do right now, this instant, this moment about this situation? If the answer is yes, you simply channel all of that stress and energy towards the actions that will help you take care of whatever's in your control. However, and this is a difficult part for many people, if the answer is no, then recognize where you're at emotionally and do the following three things. Make a decision to let go, to trust that you're safe and that everything is going to be okay, regardless of what happens, because you will still be alive. Let me reiterate that. And to love. So you let go, you trust, and you welcome and invite love in that moment to you. That love will feel as compassion, kindness towards what your body may be experiencing. We can experience several emotions all at once. So probably you may still feel stress, but you enact that person that says, I get it. I know you're feeling stress. I am here with you. Everything is going to be okay. I love you. And that will automatically shift everything. And you know what's the best part? When you consistently do this and you do this practice, I'll assure you that your life will start feeling completely different than what it might be feeling now. Once again, if you feel that this was helpful, that there's powerful insight in this episode, please don't forget to hit subscribe and share with anyone that you feel that may benefit from this episode. All of my links will be included in the description for you to connect with me, and I look forward to our next episode together. Until the next time, bye.